Hey, this is the real meat of the whole passport sisters. So, I know y'all been waiting. I know y'all been waiting this right here. So, we're gonna see the examples of passport sisters. So, what happens? What happens when you spend $100 million and you spend thousands and thousands and thousands and trillions of insults to guys going overseas, calling them human traffickers, paying foreign women, paying women to kill them and scope them in? What happens when your money runs out and you move to another country because you can't afford America no more because your spending habits were out of hat? What was already before Trump took in office, it was inflation was all crazy. So now you don't have money to spend that more. So you guys going overseas, and then you're finding out that the rules are different. The men don't give a fuck about your money. They don't care about your stuff. They care about if you can make their dick hard. The basic level of shit, they don't give a fuck about your education. They don't care about all the dumb shit. And you have to change your entire dating position. You don't know, you're not acclimated to different personalities because you didn't do it in America. You don't know how to fuck guys who have smaller penises because you didn't do it in America. You can't date a guy who don't dress a certain way because you didn't do it in America. So you're going to Japan, Brazil, you're going into Latin countries, you're going into European countries, and you're trying to compete with those women there who have real hair. And here goes the end results. Well, let's go here, right? There's a lot of women that are really alone in America, and they would do anything they can to get a guy, but the guys are not budging. So they need all these different people to try to fool guys into believing that they can get with these women. There's 30 or 50% of men who never ask the woman out. These are the young guys. So it means that a lot of these chicks are alone. They created this shit anyway, right? So the difference between an American woman and the difference between an American woman and a woman overseas, that the women overseas get instant consequences. What you're looking at right now is a girl who joined the cartel. She has the full tactical gear and the body that certain cultures will leave women behind. Women in other countries are just as violent as the men, even more gruesome. There's cultures out there that don't play with men's sexual needs. They make sure on the first date that they get it out the way. There's some countries that I think some men go to that it's important to become sexually attracted to your man before you try to marry them and try to be with them at all. You have to be sexually attracted to them. There's cultures where there is no man who never had sex. Men don't get sexually repressed. Every man could come to the table and get sex from beautiful women. That's why there's brothels everywhere and people pay to prostitutes in a lot of different countries, right? The average girl, some women look better than her, right? If she comes to America with her looks and her body, she would have been an average girl and she would have got a good boyfriend. But in her country, she's cartel food. She joined the cartel to make money and end up going head to head with the Mexican military. She lost, she died. But the women are a lot tougher overseas than the women over in America. Even the women who date the thugs are in danger. They fight harder, they kill, and they have an actual system to protect their men. In some countries, if you cheat on a guy, 9 times out of 10, the man's mom, sisters, and cousins are going to come and whip your ass. They're going to show up at your door and whip your ass. If you did anything wrong, if you falsely accuse somebody, the women are going to get you back. If a woman sets a guy up, there's always payback. And in America, it's not. Now, let's see many examples of passport sisters losing.
Hi, I'm Jeff. I'm a former workers' compensation judge, and I used to represent insurance.
Do y'all remember this girl? This is the girl, and I did the video of her, where she was like, "Are y'all okay? Are y'all okay?" Talking to you, sassy straights, the colored versions. Are y'all okay? Let me play a little bit of this video. Woman calls out black men for acting like she was completely invisible during her trip abroad because, you sassy straights, if you didn't know, you're required to speak and talk and look and pay some attention to all black women at all black times, no matter where you are, no matter what you're doing, no matter who you're with. You are required. Did y'all not know that? Did y'all know? We need y'all to get it together. This is from Shade Threads, you know, a baby of that Tether blog.
I don't know. But that doesn't mean that you instead be rude to any black American that you see. We are the minority in a foreign country. So yes, when I see another black person, I'm expecting for there to be some type of mutual respect between us. Am I saying that we gotta hug and hold hands and go on a date? No. Serious question. What is
you? And not even smile for y'all. Hashtag I said what I said.
Now, mind you, these are all her old tweets. And some tweet that she has, it's pretty much this year, in August. She has tweets down in black men. So, what they did was, they ran out of money, they went overseas, and they thought that they can do exactly what the men can do. Remember, in America, in the West, they were given this financial boost to compete with men. And they were given all this dick and attention from these fucking corny simp dudes over here like Super Sly and all these other guys, and telling them they're all beautiful. These guys tell these women over here that they're all beautiful, nothing wrong with them, because they want to get some pussy from them, right? And then eventually they don't live in reality. But when they go overseas, it's a different game. It's different rules. And they start losing. I'm not beautiful? I can't compete? What's happening? What's happening? And they're crying online. They're whining. And they're mad as shit because they can't compete with the ugly men that left the United States. But they were saying that if we was loser over here, we're losers over there. But that wasn't the case, because a lot of the so-called winners over here, they're losers overseas. Because you can't bring your insults to another country. You can't bring your man bashing to another country. You can't bring your belittlement to another country. You're going to be belittled yourself, and you're probably going to be eliminated. And it's funny, right?
Then why is she even speaking? You know what I mean? Why even have anything?
Started everything, nigga. We out here in Thailand starting shit. And there is a bunch of, I would say, black women, and he already even tried in the United States. Come on now. Sometimes I wonder about.
Now, the women who flaunt their money Their nails. They're getting played in overseas. Mind you, remember when they was saying that black men were tricks? We were tricking, and they would make fun of us. Why is no videos being made on them passport sisters' L's? They think they can talk to anybody in any certain way. They think the embassy is going to save them. This is what happens when you give these people too much power, too much reign, and let them say whatever the fuck they want. The passport sisters is the end result. They're not gonna win. They're gonna have to drag their ass overseas. And a lot of them humbled themselves because some of them live over there. And they still can't do it. A lot of them are purposely telling their Asian friends, Latino friends, about how bad black men are. And guess what that girl do? She go over there, who moves her way to the black dude, and talks to him, and then she finds out the black girl was the problem. And all the shit that they said, it comes back to haunt them. I'm told that a lot of these women are getting their ass whipped in Brazil, Mexico. They're getting their ass whipped in Thailand. They're getting their ass whipped in some of these other countries. Also, the women who made videos a couple years ago about passport bros and this and that, and how the women are unattractive and unintelligent and they dirty feet. Guess what? Their videos being brought up, and the girls are pushing their videos and saying, did you say this about our country? Did you say this about our people? Oh, I didn't mean to know. Did you say that? My husband is black. So we don't want to, we're not serving you. The men are winning overseas. They just not telling you, not showing you it. We already had a foothold because a lot of us can adapt. When you're not appreciated in another country, you go to another country with a clean slate. When you're overly appreciated in another country, you start to think that everybody else is going to treat you the way they did in a former country. Most men that goes overseas, let me tell you this right now, right? Let me show you some things that I say. You pay attention to these right here. Pause it, and this is what you need. How many times they use a word against someone, how they treat you, blah, blah, blah. This right here. This right here is important.
I wonder about these people who travel. Must be their first time traveling or something. I don't know what it is. They're not used to the game or how things are when you leave the United States. But
right? These are the same people who talk about money moves. But you don't understand that a lot of people are poor in some of these countries. And you thought that we was taking advantage of them. No, that's the system that they have in their country. And we buying into their system so we can have the advantage, or we can take advantage of the system so we don't have to deal with it here. I'd rather pay $50 overseas than to pay $1,500 here. I'd rather pay $1,500 to stay in another country every month than to pay $50,000 here every year. That $1,500 will stretch each month. And I might not even spend the $1,500. But a lot of these women think that rules don't apply to them when they leave. They lose their power. They lose the ability for somebody to tell them that they're beautiful. And they find out that they're not. They're below average. Even the Thai men who have the shriveled penises that they talk about over here. The so-called guys who don't have the personalities, the losers, the guys who stink, all this other shit that they've been saying over here, they try to talk up to those guys. Their whole dating strategy changed. 6 foot, 6 figures. It all changes when they go overseas because they don't make them like that over there. So now you see their hypocritical bullshit. So they even going to be more alone because they can't compete with the ugly fat guy who paying for his girl. Oh no, I can't believe it that this guy actually got a woman to actually love him. That's not fair. I can't believe it. Because he took the time to learn her language. He researched where he was going to go at. And he made sure that he was win or lose. He wasn't going to go back to somebody like y'all.
All right, let's check this out.
You put me on handcuffs?
Hello, hi, do you
You asked me for money.
they want to know what, do you have like a badge number?
Check your card.
Do you have a badge
You're
number?
asking me for money.
Need a paper of the
He
card.
showed.
You're trying to play games with a bunch of federales. You're trying to play games with a bunch of guys who they work with the cartel. They're easily paid off by the cartel. And you think you can go over there and manipulate shit? Oh, I'm going to call the U.S. embassy. You'll disappear. They'll kidnap you, but they won't kill you. And then they'll let you go. They'll use a third-party person, and then they'll kill them third party and say, well, that wasn't on our authority. I know their game.
You the license.
a badge number?
They still got the license. Call your supervisor. Call the U.S. Embassy.
I'm on the phone with them right now. Do you have
The U.S. Embassy is on the phone. They coming. Don't worry about it.
For the car. You need paper for the car?
Call the U.S.
That means
Embassy.
nothing.
Call the U.S. Embassy. I'm an American citizen. You're not going to extort me. You're harassing me.
Close the camera. Close the camera.
She hit me. That lady, she put her hands on me. You put your hands on me. I got the video.
They're not treated like queens now, ain't they? Stay the fuck out of these countries, yo. Stay in America. Stay where your power's at, huh? Stay where your power's at. Now I could giggle. You're the same people who was talking shit about that. You don't think that the guys over there could get y'all touched? That's the reason why half of the passport sisters getting their ass whipped, and the super slides and all these other people that was making YouTube videos and all of the anti-passport bros, $100 million spent. That shit didn't do nothing now, because the women now have to go overseas. They want to get something now. They want to be like the men. They want to go overseas. Yeah, they've been traveling, but they are mad because the guys who just started traveling can get into a culture faster than them. They are tourists in the country. They go to the country to act American. They don't go to the country to absorb anything. A lot of these people been to 40, 50 different countries. They don't speak not one of the language. They don't know one song. I know multiple songs across multiple countries. And I vibe with some of them songs. But they don't have that. Why would you go to America? And what would you go to Brazil to listen to hip hop, American music in a club? You don't know about Anita. You don't know about Lupita. You don't know about Taisha. Or you don't know about Bodo Nada Vida. You don't know these groups. You don't know none of this stuff. But for some reason you're going to Brazil, listen to hip hop music.
Put your hands on me. I'm not doing this with you.
Okay, only
Fuck, y'all got me
okay,
fucked
go ahead.
up.
It's
No,
open.
they're gonna go through our shit. No, my stuff. Lock the door. Lock the door, Marty.
Please look in the section.
Put the window up.
No, please look in the
They need to call somebody. Put the window
Look
up.
for what?
I'm waiting for the U.S. Embassy.
If they wanted to, they would grab you out that fucking car, beat the living shit out of you, and then say you was what's it called? What are you gonna do? Call the cops? Call America? Oh, they treated me bad. Who cares? We can't find them. Your power is gone when you go somewhere else. It's fun. It's so fun when you lose your power. See, I know. If I'm going to go overseas, that's one thing that you got to understand, that you lose a lot of your advantages when you go over to another country. You step into a whole different system, and that's the whole point. If you travel, you better know the rules. You better know all the insults that they have. You better know all of the red flags, all of the signals, all of the tattoos for the gangs. You better be studying like you taking a midterm test on an SAT, so you can know every single nook and cranny. You have to know what they're saying about you, or at least an insult. You have to know if they're talking to each other the wrong way. You can learn one single word to understand how they view you. You don't have to understand the whole language. See, my techniques about learning vocabulary, it works internationally. There's different targets. There's different ways the gangs play. There's different tattoos to tell you if a girl took a life or anything else like that. You got to understand that. These women don't understand shit. As I said before, the women are the keys to the society. They're the keys to the whole thing. and based off how they treat the men. If you're disrespectful to the men, and if you're running around calling yourself a queen and crying about racism, and you think your money is be able to spend it out there, your money don't matter when you're on the floor guzzling red tomato paste out of your face. Once you expire, that shit quiets down and your body get dragged out in the middle of the sand. Your money don't matter. Your queenness don't matter. Who you know don't matter. It matters what you do over there. And a lot of these women do not bring value. They didn't learn how to bring value overseas. Men know how to bring value because they know that it's a transactional thing. And also the values of men haven't dissipated overseas. Most of it. And a lot of women want to take back the things that they did and said to their men, but it was too late. So then they got to start over with certain men.
Put the one up.
This or the bribe that they wanted went up exponentially because of the fact that they were giving them a hard time going through that BS. Yo, if you're not ready for this, yeah, don't travel. Don't. Sometimes you just gotta walk away and avoid the conflict, the problems, especially if you're not from there. Just walk away.
That's my bitch. Oh, look at her friend. Look at my bitch right here.
Look at that. One of these women who, these thuggy guys bringing their girls over there. They wilding over there in Thailand. They wilding over there. They bringing all that ghetto ass culture over there. And they're getting their ass beat. I told you. They don't want to talk about that. These black chicks are getting their ass beat. And guess what? There's some guys that's fighting back. You know the women who sit back and say they almost got kidnapped and all that? No. That's guys sending their goons. See, when you talk shit about guys that you don't know, and then they find another country that they know people and they speak the language and they actually find people that's cool, and then they see your ghetto ratchet ass come out and you making little suggestion marks and saying dumb shit and you don't know what you're doing over there, all I gotta do is speak the language, tell them, hey man, whatever you take from them, keep. They get robbed and boom. Because we knew you was doing it to us. We know that. This is karma from stay your ass in the country that you're happy with. And if you can't get a man over here, well, these countries are not your slaves like over here.
Horrible, man. Horrible. You got the Pookies coming out here bringing out their Pookishas and things. My friend, girlfriend, wife.
Happening for years.
This ain't something a normal human being.
Love slots? The DraftKings Casino app's got you covered. They got tons of slots to choose from, like Cash Eruption.
I said this before, but I'm going to say it again. But the best couple in the world is a black man and a Japanese woman.
And talking
I be looking like y'all came all the way out here to get yourself a Thai girl, which is fine because the Thai girls are beautiful. But
and they get angry because the guys that they never saw, they never looked at as attractive, is out here winning in relationships overseas, and they're losing because they thought that they had ownership of black men. They thought they have ownership, and they thought that they can tell other women and other races what to do. It don't work that way. They got their own interests. They got their own needs. They don't give a fuck about what you saying. So now we get it now. The passport systems are failing, and we're not going to see it. Now they have to compete with the men that they talked about because their money is gone. Their money is done. And the women overseas, all of these women are pushing hard for white guys. They're pushing for a lot of American men. They're pushing hard for black guys. They're pushing hard for a lot of different guys because the men in their countries treat them like shit, ignoring them. Something that they created, by the way. But at least these women are willing to restart and start over. Do you know how many guys that I know that told me that they married a Brazilian feminist? And I'm saying, what the fuck is wrong with you? And they're like, no. She believe in the first feminism thing. She don't believe in all this other bullshit. She went 100% backwards to that. And she told me it's basically how lonely she was and everything else. Every time I hear a guy that go overseas, these women love these guys because the men in their country, they stood on business. They didn't have a Scott Galloway. They didn't have a Super Slide. You always have to wonder why you don't have no anti-foreigners in some of these countries making videos. You got some of the American dudes making videos or some of these other Japanese racist dudes, but they don't talk about the white guys. But the Japanese women don't listen to these guys because it's like, I don't want white guys no more. I don't even want them. I see how they treat some of the other women that my friends was with. I want a black guy now. So the passport sis are losing based off the fact that they don't have power over there. They're losing because no one is buying what they're selling. They don't know how to fuck foreign men. Because you didn't learn. They don't know how to fuck small penis men. They don't know how to fuck the unusual guy. They don't know how to do that because they used to fucking thugs and players and all this other shit. They can't go over there and fuck a Japanese guy or Korean guy. They can't do that to a small guy over there in Thai. They're going to the places where black men are at, trying to compete with the women over there. But now they realize that they never was able to compete with anybody because they was told that they shouldn't compete.
Battery level is 60%.
People should come to them. That's what Passport Sisters is all about. And now you see that the reason why these people are not making videos anymore, they're not making videos on the women taking L's, making video after video about their failures in Japan and all this over this country, because these are the women that these dudes endorse. These are the women that these dudes build their sexual history with. And if these guys overseas don't want their top women, it's something wrong with their women. That's the reason why they came after you. They made 100,000 videos on you because you were supposed to get their leftovers. Now the other countries and other men, they can't tell them that. They can't tell them. They can't turn to these men and say our women is better than your women. They can't do that. Super Sly can't make a video telling Japanese men that they're missing out on these great women. They can't make a video on Brazil men. They can't make videos on all these men in these different countries that are throwing these women and telling them they're ugly as shit to their faces and laughing in their faces that you're missing out on a woman. You're missing out on a good woman. They can't do that. They can't do it. So what happens is that they won't report on these women taking L's. Now you know about Passport System, and it's going to get worse. I'm going to predict it. A lot of these women are going to get deleted. A lot of these women are going to get their ass beat on camera. A lot of these women are going to come over here with their tail between their legs. And then get the L's that they're going to take is just going to be astronomical. Watch these videos of these guys and these taking L's. Watch them. They're going to run out of money. They're going to get scammed. They're going to get played like a fiddle. Watch what happens. You're not going to hear one video about it. Shout out to JJ Starwin for giving me the motivation to make this video, because I had no plans of making this video. But the way I break it down is not what other people breaks it down. I exposed that they were paying guys to get scopamine overseas. I exposed that they spent $100 million going after passport bros. I exposed that they were getting their ass beat all over the world. I exposed that. None of these guys ain't really talking about it. A lot of people are not talking about it. Passport Sisters are literally they're stalking. They're paying all this money to go overseas just to stalk men. I was told by somebody that these women were following guys to hotels, and they were standing by the door listening to guys fucking hotel rooms. They would pay for the hotel and listen to guys fuck women in hotel rooms. That's how fucked up these females really are. They were following guys, pay for sex, and then try to take a video and get caught, and the video end up getting tossed out, or they end up getting kicked out of the hotel room. There's there's guys that tell me that they're going overseas and these women trying to learn the language so they can take back the men in Brazil. And then the guys end up exposing them like, no, she's not Brazilian, she's an American. These women are so fucking desperate that they're spending thousands of dollars just to go overseas to see what your dick is like. But these are the women who's bashing you, telling you all this other stuff. Keep collecting their L's. And see all the guys not talk about it. I was told a lot of different things. These women are so fucked up in the head that they're sitting. I'm going to repeat it again. They're following guys to hotel rooms listening to them fuck. They're also trying to snitch on guys for paying for sex and end up being told by the police, get the fuck out of here. We don't give a fuck about this. So yeah, there's a lot of shit that they're doing overseas and they're losing. Some of them are even getting banned out of countries. They getting beat up by the wives. They getting beat up by the girlfriends. And they even getting being used by the guys overseas. Passport sisters taking L's and nobody's reporting on it. You heard it from me.